Echo and the Bunnymen, Bring on the Dancing Horses, Guitar Tabs, and Guitar Lesson. I'll play through all the different sections right at the start. Afterwards, I'll go back through, give all the explanation for it. Before we get into the lesson, please hit the subscription button. It's the best way of letting me know that you enjoy this video and would like to see more similar to it. And with all that out of the way, let's get on into the video. Okay, so for starters, just a standard tuning here, E, A, D, G, B, E. All right, handful of chords, no big deal. Some fun little melody stuff we can interlace with all this. And for the intro, we're just basically hanging out in this D chord, and it's a nice voicing here where we can hit some of the melody stuff too, where we do open D and a 7 on the G and B with the 5 on the E. Okay, nice sounding D chord there, and like I said, we can very easily make the melodies in this shape, so we can do strum on that and basically hit our 5 on the E that we need for the melody, and then we come up and do a 8 on the B back to 7. All right, and then we can finish it by doing the 7, 8 up to the 5 on the E, and then work it back down with the 8, 7. All right, and we would just repeat that twice. All right, and the second part of it is basically we just start with the 8 on the B, keeping our open D and the 7 on the G. And we just work that down, the 8 on the B, 7 to 5. Okay, and then we wrap it up this way with the B string. We go 5, 7, 8, 7, 5. And we repeat that twice. Then ultimately just end on the open D with the 7 octave there on the G. For the verse, not a whole lot going on. We can have some fun with it though, just by hitting the D chord. And with this, we can kind of do a mimic of the sequencer that's going on in the background, just by hitting the palm muted open D string here, like a 16th note style. So a little fun you can have in the back with just kind of letting that D chord happen. And with the chorus, kind of just a big D chord there as well. All right, but we get that cool little like a flute thing that happens in the background with that. So you kind of mimic that a little bit just by, you know, accenting on the 5 of the E here, just kind of hitting it maybe a handful of times afterwards. All right, and then it kind of hits this part of a D suspended 4, which is basically just that 8 on the B. So you can add that with the 7G and the open D and do the same kind of vibe with that. All right, we have our post-chorus section, and this is just kind of more straight up just chord strumming here. So we go to shift down to like these open style chords. We go with the G, okay, do an A, D, back to the G, and then for this section, I like to shift up just some bar chord style because we want to add, you know, kind of that synth melody that's going along with these chords, which is basically just kind of the root notes for these chords, but I like to hit them high here, so we come up to this bar chord style D, just bar in the 10s, 12 on the A and D with the 11 on the G. Okay, kind of want that with it, that high D. All right, and then to A, and just bar chord style A at the 5s, 7 on the A and D with the 6 on the G. Okay, want that 5 E on there. And then just take it down to a G bar chord, same shape, just down 2 frets with the 3s, 5s on the A and D, 4 on the G. All right, and basically just repeat those twice, the D, A, G. The second verse kind of adds a little more melody stuff in there with the synth. Same D chord. All right, and we can hit it this way where we do our strum there, and then basically we just do an 8 on the B to 7. All right, kind of hold that for a moment, and then we just finish it by doing the B string. We go 8, 7, and then up to our D octaves at the 7G open D. All right, this little interlude section, I guess you call it, gets pretty fun. We kind of hang out in this D shape here, and we want to do like a D6, so we're going to hit this 4 on the G, and we can keep that 3 on the B and that open middle D here. All right, and then just make that 4 a 2 on the G, keep everything the same, so it just becomes more of like a D, you know, D5. All right, then we shift up to a G chord. You can just kind of hit like the bulk of it there, you don't have to do the whole thing really. All right, and then we pick through it a bit where we go open D, open G to a 4 on the D. All right, repeat those 2 twice. Okay, just like that. And then we stick with the D to a G again, but we kind of do this big scale down throughout the whole thing. So we start with the D at that 4 on the G as well, and then we just take that 4, make it a 2 to open. All right, and then we shift the bass note to the G so we can hit that 3 on the E, and then we want the D string, we go 4, 2, open there. All right, and just repeat that a couple times. And this outro chorus, it's pretty fun because it's basically the intro, but we're making a G chord in there for the second half of each part. So, you know, we stick with our same D at the beginning there. So just okay, that same deal at the beginning. But now we want to switch to a G chord. So in order to make, you know, this work easily, we shift down to this. We still keep our same, you know, but we're going to do it down here because we need this G chord going along with it. And to do that, we're just going to do the E string 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. All right, so we kind of hit our G chord there. And then we do that little melody over the top of it. All right, so kind of a fun little alternate spot to do it with the G chord. But we do those twice, the D to G, just like that. And the second half of it, we want the D to a G as well. But we're going to start off in this spot here for the D, just because it's a lot easier to do here, and we're going to shift right to almost the same spot with the G. All right, so we start here with the D sus4, okay, so just a regular D, but we want the 3 on the high E, okay, because that's the start of our melody, and it's just a 3-2 open on the E. Okay, shift to our G chord, and then basically just work it back on the high E, open, 2, 3, 2, open. Okay, and you can just continue all that to the fade out.